So this session, session 4, was looking at research, organizing, and planning, which fits perfectly into a program like Pro Workspace. I'll just get this onto the background here. You can see I've got Pro Workspace already open. But what Pro Workspace is a centralized approach to the collection of an organization of material that you have on your computer, basically, because many jobs or parts of roles of jobs do involve the task of collecting and organizing, research. We could be project planning, it could be reports and evidence gathering, anything that kind of involves looking at several bits of information from several different places to perhaps collate for you to then write something up. It can be quite difficult for those with kind of neurodiverse conditions. Those with ADHD, dyspraxia, autism definitely can have, those conditions can have an impact on their ability to organize information. What Pro Workspace does is turns it into a centralized place where everything you find, you put into Pro Workspace, and it's all there for you. Because a lot of the time, information on websites is stored with websites, documents are stored in files. They can all be in different places, but Workspace puts that all in one place as well. It also kind of helps with fatigue because it's quite a productive tool. So you're kind of taking less steps out of that process. So that can certainly help as well. Or even like perhaps for overwhelming mental health conditions, big projects, pressure of work life, the complete and handies in on deadlines. We can get a lot of anxiety and overwhelm around these things. But if you know everything you're going is going to the same place, you can easily find it, you know where your projects are going to be. That should hopefully ease that kind of process off. Pro Workspace itself is a Windows-only solution. It is a toolbar, which we can see up here, with its various tools that you use spread across the top. What you do with Pro Workspace is you have various projects that you create, and you can then break those down into color-coded categories of the information that you want to have. You can easily switch between projects. Even something planning as a work trip sounds simple, but there's a lot of factors involved, travel options, train, car, walk, public transport, group, you're picking someone up on the way. You might want to kind of display the options to people so they can pick what's best, where to eat, hotels, where to stay. Anywhere that you kind of want to open things up in that way. Even things planning events. We've got that, locations. So I've only got one category in that one. But as you can see here, these are the various projects I have open or working on in Pro Workspace. But whenever you open one up, it shows you that project. It shows you the categories that you have created. So I'm going to show you today a quick tour around the software, its features, and how someone would use it. To create a project, you just go to Manage, New Project, and then you can get started with the categories as well. So this is, again, just trying to be more organized with everything, having the sections that we want. We can do that at the start. We can always come back and add new categories when we come up with ideas later. We want to make a name. I am going to base this on perhaps the paralegal trying to find evidence for a case and just trying to get things organized. So I'm going to put legal evidence, and that's going to be my project name. Additional info could be like the deadline or when the case is. Maybe it's going to be on the 12th of November. So I'm going to put that as my additional info. And now I can break it down into the categories that I want. So I need to do some background information on the person that we are actually prosecuting. I'll put background info. Then we can easily pick a color from the list, or even exactly what color you'd like it to be. Okay, we'll go for a green, and we're going to add a new one. What are the features of this does? It has OCR capability in here. So I'm going to have that as a category and show you how you can do that with this. Go for like a blue. We'll go for another category, photo evidence. And again, research comes in all shapes and sizes. It can be text, it can be images, it can be inaccessible text, it could be on PDFs, it could be on Word documents, it could be on the web. So this is all different places. So it's very hard sometimes to relocate these things. And if you're just copying and pasting things from somewhere and putting it in a document, you have no idea where you've got that from, you might need to cite it or something like that, or at least remember what document you pulled that out of. And Workspace helps us with that. Photo evidence we wanted. I could perhaps be a purple. And then we'll finish off with, you can even drag and drop files in here too, which is quite good. Useful files. Okay. Once we've got our categories created, we're ready to start collecting. Project gets made. We can now see they're all there. You can have loads of categories. You can see the bar can fill out and just, have a huge amount if you wanted to. I'm just trying to keep it simple for today. And that's what this project is. This program is. It's simple. If we are looking for background information, we start finding places. I go to a Word document, for example. So as I said, I'm doing the legal evidence. My case profile is Anna Sorokin, aka Anna Delvey. If you ever saw that thing on Netflix, she was someone who kind of conned New York high society. Anything I find, I just highlight and I click exactly what category I want to go into. And once you collect it, you get a little 1 on the side to say that that's been done, which is great. As I said, it can be in all these different places, and the technique's the same as well. I've got a PDF open. This is some court documents here, a statement of the facts, I think it might be, or yeah, statement of the facts. Same technique. Highlight what I like, captures the information, and Pro Workspace is going to add that in. Now you can see there's 2 options in there. Brilliant. Let's go to the web. I've got several tabs open here with some information that we can grab. I'll grab some textual information from this page. Again, you get the gist. It's that easy. It doesn't matter what kind of source it's from. You've got the same technique there of adding information in there. But sometimes you might come across text just like that, but it could be like this. Maybe it's from a book. Maybe it's from a scanned image. I can't use that same technique to grab it here. So there is OCR functionality built into Pro Workspace to allow you to collect that kind of information. And that's where you use the snapshot tool. So with the snapshot tool, you can use the image snip. You can even take photos with your webcam if you want as well, if you had it physical in front of you. But we've also got an app for that as well, which I will show you. Draw a box around the text area that you'd like to get. Once it's got that picture, we can then choose what project's going into. We want it in the OCR evidence category. You can have it just as an image of text if you want. But you also see that the URL's there, the title of where it's come is all there as well. And to turn that into accessible text, just click OCR and it's done pretty much instantly. And you can save that straight into your project as well. So this is what this program's all about, is trying to reduce the steps that we need to take, make it quick, make it organized, make it safe. Because all we need to do is, for our project, we just open Pro Workspace and everything we need is starting to build up in there. I'll show you what it all looks like in a minute, but I'm going to go and get some other different types of information as well now. So let's get a picture as well. There we go. We've got a not looking particularly pleased in court. I suppose you wouldn't be if you were under arrest. The snapshot tool works again for images. So you can just image snip, and then you can take the exact part of the image that you want. And then this time you can just save that as the image. We don't need to OCR that because it's a photo. We'll put it in the photo section and we'll save that. Brilliant. There we go. So, yes, we do have notifications here to see that there are items building in our project. But if you want to review those at any point, all you have to do is go to the preview section on the toolbar, and that will show you everything that you've gathered in each section. So you've got your project there, you've got your color-coded categories, and we've got each item. So we can see that they are, we've got our document, we've got our PDF file, We've got from our web page as well there. It even tells us the title, the date and time, the web page. You can even click the links and go back to the sources as well, and it'll load those straight up for you. So again, trying to find those files. Yes, I took something from the PDF. I can't for the life of me remember where that was saved. And again, when we get emails, we download documents, they tend to stay in downloads all the time. And if we don't know where to find it, trying to locate that file, it gives us a link straight to it, opens up the document straight away, which is great. You can even do that with just full-on files themselves. So if I go, let me just bring this across. I'll close that window. You can pick up a document and then just put it straight on top of a category, and then it will just automatically have that hyperlink to it as well, so you can find it again. Because that, again, for those with organizational difficulties, it can be very hard to keep a tidy desktop, keep the files tidy. I used to work at AT training, and I'd see people with files as far as the eye could see on their desktop, let alone going into documents. But at least if I go with this, I can go to my useful files section where I've been dragging my files in. Even though I haven't perhaps took any text from it yet, at least it brings me back to that document whenever I need it to be open, which is great. Okay, so that's some of the great organizational benefits of Pro Workspace. We've been working on the computer itself, but it does have a companion app called Project Assist as well, which allows you to collect via your phone. So I'm going to put my screen, my phone screen on my computer so you can see it. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can see my phone. Apologies, I've not left the house today, so that's an abysmal amount of steps. But I have the Project Assist app here. It's on Android, it's on Apple. You can go into here. You can create new projects as well. We've talked about various different job roles, potentially. I mean, this is very legal heavy focus today. But, you might have a job where you have to do field work. You have to take evidence for report writing afterwards. You can create projects straight in here. You can set your names out. You can add the categories and you can color code them just as we did when we built it. Or you can go to existing projects, find the projects, and then you've got your categories and information in there. So maybe we need to take some more photo evidence. You can click the picture, take a photo. I think this is good. As I say, and maybe doing an accessibility assessment even. And, let's have a look at my computer. For doing an ergonomic assessment, probably not the best because I've got no mouse, I've got no extra keyboard, no height leveled monitor. So maybe I'm taking evidence of that. It could be in any kind of job in any form, but you want everything to go together for the report. So you can take the picture, you can save the image, and it goes. And then you can just put it as whatever note you want to as the title, PC example. Okay. We can also just do straight up research from the phone. So if you use the web button, you can click into there. It'll take you to Google for now. But you can start. So what was it? Anna Delvey, her name wasn't it? Anna Delvey. There we go. You can find a page. And they probably would usually use Wikipedia, but it's the first one that's just kind of come up here. Any text that you find when you're reading. So if you're not perhaps on a commute or you've just not got your computer open, you want to still do some research-based work, anything you find, hold your finger down, select the area that you want, click capture, and then it gets added to the project. The other thing you can do with the phone, which is very useful, is back to taking photos again in the OCR evidence section. You can, just move it's over here. Let me take a photo of a page of text. There we go. I've got a witness statement there. It's not the best photo in the world. Hopefully that should be okay. But you can retry if you didn't take the best one. I've got a lot of shadowing going on, but hopefully, if I click OK, we do have OCR functionality built into the app as well. So you click that and there we go. Actually did a pretty good job. Quite pleased with that. And then again, we can save that to the project and build up our information via our phones. Again, I can put that as a witness statement. There we go. Cool. That is the project assist. There is the ability to press sync, and then it syncs up to the project. Just to apologize that we've got some development work going on. It happened to fail today, so the sync is currently out of action till tomorrow. So it won't sync up today, but after today, it'll be fine. Just happened to fall on a day where I'm doing a presentation. So all of our projects is gathering our information. The thing we can do with Pro Workspace is we can export that, but there are some other useful things to help us during the research stages. Tabs. Tabs are the vein of all of our lives. We start something, we start finding things, thinking we're looking for information, and you'll have tiny tabs that you can't see. What's good about Pro Workspace is you can bookmark your tabs that you're using directly to that project. So you hit bookmark on the web page you are, it successfully adds that page as a bookmark for you. I'll go on to another page. Some more information here. Hit bookmark. And it's added the bookmark to the project. This is great if you're going to perhaps you're not ready to read what you're going to take yet, and you need to get off to a meeting. You need to close your computer down. If you go to manage, you can go to your bookmarks, and then they are there ready to be opened straight away as well. So it's that centralization again, just kind of keeping everything organized and easy to do. A lot of people can let them get on top of them. We also do have colored overlays. Now, this may not reflect through the Zoom, but you can put a colored overlay on. If that looks pink to you guys, that's great. If it doesn't, apologies. I've got it set to that. But again, in the manage section, you can set your color overlay preferences as well, which is all good. Okay, let's go back to preview before we export the project. We're going to have another look at everything that we've been gathering. We can see what's here. You can even search your databases for other information from other projects. So if I type BBC in, press enter, it finds other BBC articles from different projects. And if you want that, you can right click. It'll take you to that particular one. So there's another image. If I needed that part of this project, you can right click on that section and you can move that or copy that to any other project. We'll put that in our new one, which is legal evidence. We'll put that in the photo evidence. We've got that in there, and that's going over. Brilliant. So it does become a database of all of your research, and being able to capture stuff that you've already got, it's going to save time having to recapture things. We can jump back to our project that we're working on, which was our legal evidence project. Again, we can look at all the sources that we have. We can view this small, medium, or large, if you would like to as well. But when we're feeling ready, we can export this project. Maybe we then have everything collated. We're going to get to the report writing stage. So we can choose which project. They're all listed here. We have got the categories. We will want everything. It does do referencing. Obviously, you heard me mention Pro Study before, which is our kind of sister product. We just left that in there because some research-based jobs still need referencing done. So it has the ability to do that if you need to. You can export it straight to the cloud and link up your OneDrive, your Google Drive if you want to, or you can go straight to Word. So we'll go straight to Word. And it'll just put everything in a nice, clean, laid out report format in the categories where we want, with our evidence in each section, where we want it to be. And then we can just start writing and using those bits of information that we capture. Here we go. This is what an exported project looks like. So you get your title. You get a contents page of each of your categories. The headings are color-coded to the categories that you made. Each bit of information you captured is there with a date and time and a name and a link back to where it was from as well, so you can access them all again. But then you've got the structure there. The images are there. There's a picture of the keyboard, which I moved from another project. Even the file links are there as well. And it even makes a bit of a bibliography if that's what you needed, but you can uncheck that if that's not something you need. So yeah, just to summarize what Pro Workspace does, it is a centralized approach to the collection of organizing research for any research-based task that you might have to do. It allows you to collate, and categorize the way that you want. So fits in many different aspects of our job roles and can fit for many different needs for those with organizational difficulties, overwhelm of kind of creating and organizing projects, anything where fatigue is a factor as well. I think it even helps with kind of getting started if you really struggle to get a project underway. I think being able to break it down early, start finding a little bit going, I think that'll go there, that'll go there. Before you know it, you've actually done a significant amount of work. It definitely kind of aids in that process as well. So that is Pro Workspace. So thanks very much for joining me. That's everything I wanted to show you on the software. If there's any questions, happily put them in the chat. We do site licensing. It gets installed on the computers for security on that as well. So the only thing I wanted to show you is just more back to myself and Aventido. We do have a resource called the Access to Work Hub. And here it is, the Access to Work Resource Hub. It shows you all of our kind of workplace-based products, but also puts them into areas of Access to Work report writing if you are an Access to Work assessor, or if you recommend software to help your employees. So you can see that task management productivity is where Pro Workspace could definitely be helping. You can click on Pro Workspace. It will then take you to this part of our hub where you'll see a write-up about what it is, what it does, and even a 1-minute video. So if you ever are showing someone who potentially might be using this, you can get a quick overview of basically what I've just done, but in a minute, which would be nice. We've also got some blogs written that mention Pro Workspace as well, which is all good. So I will give you the link to the ATW hub in the chat, which should be, sorry, I've lost the chat button. I've completely lost the chat. I'll have to, there we go, I found it. I just realized I didn't share the resource hub because I stopped sharing my screen. But here is the link. I'll just show you the resource hub really quickly, so you guys can see. So here's the resource hub. Here's different sections: note-taking, writing, spelling and grammar, task management is where Pro Workspace falls in. You click there, it gives you the write-up, and it gives you the video, and it gives you links to the blogs as well. So there you go.